So we put the turkey tail in the dehydrator for 24 hours at 105 degrees. And they're perfectly dry.
So what do we have to do to clean them off and stuff?
So we just use a small brush and use some scissors to cut off the part where the wood was. And that was it.
So we are putting our dried turkey tail mushrooms in a jar that's been sanitized and thoroughly dried so that we can save them to use as a tea, like a medicinal tea, over the winter. Hopefully we won't actually need it, because this is really good as a medicinal tea when you are sick with any kind of virus, like the flu, and heaven forbid, should I say it out loud, COVID.
The C word.
The C word. Or any kind of cold. It would be good for that.
The piece is so big and why is it fit in a jar?
Right. And so we will come back to this and use it in our teas later.
I think it won't actually fit all in that jar.
I think it will, because I don't need to keep the pieces intact. I can squish them in.
Yeah.
And I could grind them into a powder and make them into a supplement that we could kind of take, kind of swallow.
You could even probably put them in like gel capsules.
So I'm going to be growing this turkey tail that we picked yesterday. The process for that is I'm going to grow it out on this Agar plate that I made. It's a mixture of potato flakes, Agar powder, and also corn syrup. And you just mix it up, boil it, and then pressure cook it. I can put the recipe in the description for how to do that. So I'll get started here on the transfer.
What's this tote called?
This is called a still air box. It's just a way to prevent contamination from flowing in the air. You want to be extremely sterile when you do this. I use 70% isopropyl alcohol.
This is a spray bottle.
And then I spray the air inside too with Ozium. It's an air sanitizer. And then I need my X-Acto knife. I should probably sterilize that.
Are you gonna put that piece of the mushroom inside?
Yeah, we just need a tiny piece of it. And we can actually use multiple tiny pieces on multiple plates. And then whichever one grows the best is the one we can actually grow out into a grain jar and then onto the wood chip block. You don't want to open the plate for too long. Just a quick cut and then open, drop the piece in, and then shut it closed. Do that, and then I'll grab some parafoam. I just use 2 squares, fold it over on itself. And I use that to seal it. This is the best thing to use to wrap these because it can still breathe. It needs a little bit of air exchange. So that one's good. Okay, so I'm on the last plate here. Just taking off the parafoam. Which parafoam is just something you can get on Amazon. I think it was like 20 bucks for a big supply of it. You only need a tiny piece. There's a ton of spores, thousands of spores on the smallest piece.
That's why outside, if you find a mushroom, then there's likely to be more of the same type because they spread their spores outside, and then growing new mushrooms all over.
Yeah.
Where that one mushroom you found was. That's why there was so much turkey tail on that one log. Like
Yeah.
the log was literally coated in turkey tail. It's crazy.
Alright, so that one's sealed up. And that's all of them. Now we're just gonna wait. After about maybe a week or two, it'll start spreading out onto the plate. From there, I'm gonna cut the strongest piece off of it, just a tiny, like the size of a grain of rice, and then drop it into a jar of sterilized rye berries. And then from there, I would dump it onto a wood chip block and then grow it off that. Hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out our other videos on turkey tail mushrooms.